Ladies and gentlemen, representatives of the media, we today start the press conference for the meeting of the Foreign Affairs Minister Edgars Rinkēvičs and Minister Mikheil Janelidze from Georgia. Dear media representatives, today there is official visit from my Georgian counterpart Mikheil Janelidze. This is his first visit in Latvia and also the first visit in the capacity of Foreign Affairs Minister. We discussed various issues, first of all bilateral relations. I believe that our countries have developed an excellent and very close mutual cooperation both on economic and political level. We were honored to open the Latvian and Georgian Business Forum today. It joined businessmen from Latvia and Georgia. The amount of cooperation is so wide and comprehensive that it would take some time to enlist them all, but basically it includes many things, starting from tourism, cooperation in transport, as well as IT, food processing, and many other areas. We are happy that also this year our mutual cooperation will be very active also on the political level. This is evidenced by the visit of Mr. Janelidze here, as well as the visit of our Sejm Speaker in Georgia, and also among the Foreign Affairs Ministries and Ministers, the dialogue will be as active as previous year. We are willing to support Georgia in the reform process and transition process. There are some action plans and guidelines developed also among state chancelleries, and we are interested in supporting Georgia in the areas of its interest. We strongly support introduction of a visa liberalization plan till the middle of this year. As you know, Georgia has fulfilled all the criteria and preconditions for visa liberalization regime. Therefore, the European Commission and the Council of the European Union needs to adopt the necessary amendments to the regulations as soon as possible, so that Georgian citizens may travel visa-free to European countries. We are also interested in such developments because it would benefit to economic and social cooperation. We also discussed issues around the upcoming election in Georgia in October. It's important to maintain stable internal situation in Georgia. We discussed also cooperation among the parliaments of Latvia and Georgia, and in the end we discussed security cooperation in the region. As you know, in July the NATO summit in Warsaw will take place. We believe that this summit should send a strong signal that the door to the NATO is open and that Georgia needs to further integrate in Europe. We welcome the reforms and transitions performed in the armed forces of Georgia, as well as Georgia's support to NATO's operations, in particular the operations in Afghanistan. We truly hope that NATO member countries, together with Georgia, will be able to take appropriate decisions for the integration of Georgia in Europe and European political area. As well, we discussed situation related to the occupied territories. We reiterated the support for territorial integrity of Georgia and discussed practical measures for involving these territories in a normal and appropriate development process of Georgia. We voiced our support for Geneva talks as an important settlement instrument. So, in general, all the issues we discussed today, starting from bilateral relations and to the situation in the region, it all confirms the strong and excellent relationship between our countries. We will continue to support Georgia on its way to the European Union, to the European family, and closer integration in the European area. Thank you, Mr. Rinkēvičs, and now I give the floor to Mr. Janelidze.
Thank you, Mr. Minister, for your words. This is really my first visit to Latvia, and I'm grateful for the hospitality I'm receiving here in Riga. I'm happy to use this opportunity and extend gratitude for being a friend and strong supporter of Georgia and its sovereignty and territorial integrity, as well as our European choice and Euro-Atlantic aspirations. And hereby I would like to underline Minister Edgars Rinkēvič's personal engagement in developing relations between our countries and upholding our interests on international arena. This year, Georgia celebrates 25th anniversary of restoration of independence, and we would not have been able to defend our freedom and our foreign policy aspirations without moral and practical support of our friends like Latvia. Various events are planned in Georgia to mark this memorable occasion, and we are looking forward to host a high-level delegation from Latvia in Tbilisi. We are happy that these high-level exchanges are happening between our countries, which provide new stimulus and incentives to further deepening ties in every field of cooperation. We have excellent bilateral relations, and there is very active and productive interaction between our countries at all levels. We have very dynamic inter-parliamentary relations, expansion of cultural and people-to-people ties, as well as regional cooperation. Our goal is to develop stronger economic and trade relations that correspond to the high level of the political dialogue between our countries. And in this regard, we welcome the second meeting of the Intergovernmental Economic Commission held last year in December in Tbilisi, as well as established tradition of holding business forums along with the official visits. And I'm confident that Georgian-Latvian Business Forum that we have opened a few hours ago here in Riga will encourage further business activities between business representatives, promote investments, and open new avenues for cooperation using all the opportunities offered by the association agreement and deep and comprehensive free trade area agreement between the EU and Georgia. And we are happy to see that there are already Latvian companies active in Georgia, as well as Georgian companies doing business in Latvia. So we can be good platforms for providing opportunities for doing business in our regions for our economic entities. I'm confident that besides bilateral agenda, our cooperation on European level will only strengthen in the future, and we highly value the firm support of Latvia for Georgia's European integration aspirations. The Eastern Partnership has always been high on the Latvian agenda, including during the presidency of the Council of the European Union last year, and currently as Latvia chairs the Nordic-Baltic cooperation format. And thanks to this support and active contribution, Georgia has significantly advanced on its way towards political association and economic integration with the EU, and I'm grateful for the support of Latvia to the visa liberalization process, which is a key deliverable now on our European agenda. And Georgia has done everything in order to comply with all the recommendations and fulfill all the benchmarks. And we are happy that Commission's legislative proposal to amend the respective regulation has been submitted, and we hope on timely decision of the Council and the Parliament for the enactment of this amendment. Georgia is firmly committed that visa liberalization will be a complement to the association agreement and deep and comprehensive free trade area agreement, and it will provide more opportunities for people-to-people interaction, for cultural exchanges, and for the use of the benefits of the deep and comprehensive free trade area agreement. I would like also to express our gratitude for the support of our Euro-Atlantic integration, which was again expressed today by the Minister. And at the Warsaw Summit, our aim is to fix again progress on our membership path, as well as once again enhance our practical cooperation with the alliance. And we look forward to working together with Latvia, with our colleagues, to fix these outcomes at the Warsaw Summit. Minister Rinkēvičs is well aware of the challenges Georgia is confronted with, and of the security and humanitarian situation in the occupied regions of Georgia. During his last visit to Georgia in November, he visited the occupation line in Latvian region and has witnessed the results of Russia's illegal activities that constitute a direct step towards the real assimilation and creeping annexation of the Abkhazia and Latvian regions of Georgia. And we highly appreciate Latvia's continuous and valuable contribution to the non-recognition policy towards our occupied territories, and truly count on the continuous assistance. We see only peaceful solution of this conflict, and as Minister mentioned, we look forward to achieving progress in the format of international Geneva discussions. To sum up, our meeting has once again demonstrated our shared aspiration to further deepen ties in all areas of common interest and advanced relations between the two friendly countries and people, and we agree to continue our close dialogue and regular exchange of high-level visits. And I would like to once again thank the Minister for the hospitality extended to us.
Paldies, Ministra kungam.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. Are there any questions from the media? Unfortunately, the microphone is not switched on.
Are you happy that this new model is working fast enough for Georgia? Do you feel that this tailor-made approach is better than what went before? And a question for Mr. Rinkēvičs as well. Is the Foreign Minister's view that the Russian Sputnik was in contravention of EU sanctions imposed because of the invasion of Ukraine? Do you think that other EU countries should follow suit and withdraw permission for Sputnik to operate in their territories?
Georgia is progressing on the European integration path. We are associated country, and we are happy to see that the association agreement delivers very specific results for Georgia. It's first of all, it's more political association, it's more sectoral integration, and it's an opportunity for full-fledged integration into the EU internal market in terms of trade. We have huge support also coming, a big support coming from the European Union. We are going to agree now on the association agenda, which will define more integration opportunities for Georgia in in the coming years, and it will be tailored approach to Georgia and to Georgia's association ambitions, as well as we will work with the European Union on defining the directions of single support framework, which is financial and technical assistance to Georgia, which will be also again linked with the bilateral association agenda of Georgia with the EU. We are happy to see that we are progressing on visa liberalization path according to the merits and according to the achievements Georgia has on that path, and we hope that this approach will continue, and this more for more principle will be supported by the EU, and we, with our ambition of being more associated with the EU, and definitely in the future to become part of the EU, which is not a stage now, but we are moving towards that by using all the benefits of the association agreement, strengthening our legislative base, introducing European standards, strengthening our institutions, and creating real European state in Georgia with the help of the European Union and the European member states.
Thank you very much. I think that much has been already said yesterday by the Ministry. I have not much to add to the initial answers that have been provided by the press service of the Foreign Ministry. I just want to outline 3 points. The first one, that competent authorities of the Republic of Latvia have established, and I mean here authorities, not only the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, established clear link between Sputnik news agency and the person who is on the EU sanction list. Second, I think it is of paramount importance that the use of internet domain of one of EU member states also would be contrary to the spirit of the sanctions. And the third, according to EU legislation, implementation of EU sanctions is a sole responsibility of each and every member state. So from that point of view, I do believe that the policies that so far have been applied by EU member states is based on case-by-case assessment, and if other EU member states do analysis and find the link we have found, it's up to them to decide how to act.
Paldies!